Reddit, what's the funniest thing that a random stranger said to you that made you die laughing inside? Watched a guy walking to class at my college years ago saying "get the duck out of my way" to a pigeon standing in his path. The pigeon quickly waddled off to the side. This happened to me, but in reverse. I was walking my dogs in a park that is always full of those damn Canadian geese. 2 were in the path and would not move, and my dogs were freaking, trying to chase them. They wouldn't move, so we chased them from the path. I turned and said out loud to them, "Yeah, that's right, I told you to move." Or something sassy like that, and realized there was a couple behind me. Watching a grown woman and her dogs chase geese and then verbally abuse them. Let it to all the glorious comments below. I only chase these guys at the park, with my dogs. Last month, they migrated off of the park and started roaming in my neighborhood. I am not sassy when there are 15 geese standing on the road outside of my house. Watching. Waiting. Plotting. Edit number 2, till, or yesterday I learned, they are called Canada geese. I wonder if calling them Canadian is a regional thing? I have no idea what this quote is y'all keep telling me, but I'll marinate over it. Also, thanks for my first gold. You're just lucky you made it out alive. I would be wary of birds from here on out, they talk. Lol, especially Canadian geese, I can see them being very vindictive. Canadian geese are monsters. I am scared of them. I live in Canada, they are all around, if one blocks my way I go around. Also live in Canada. There are 2 geese that make a nest on the side of a pretty busy highway right outside of my work and attack cars as they pass by with no fear. People now merge to the left lane to avoid them. Don't feel bad about going around, they are powerful enough to change the flow of traffic. Till Canadians are polite because the geese run a police state. When I was around 10, my dad took my brother and me to a Sox game at Fenway. We get to the park and I was putting mustard on a hot dog from one of those mustard box push down nozzle things. This random guy next to me goes, "Yeah buddy, lather that bitch up." 10-year-old me thought it was about the funniest thing it ever heard, and I still chuckle when I think about it as an adult. Edit, thanks for the great comments and gold silver everyone. I've been laughing about this all day. I love random hype guys. Always turns out to be a fun story as long as the guy isn't totally insane. Which they always are. Chaotic good. It's the chaotic neutrals that you have to look out for. Eating horse shit off the sidewalk and crap. I was at a 50th wedding anniversary party and there were lots of elderly people in attendance. An old man was standing next to me and said, "It looks like a ducking graveyard in here." I literally spit my beer out. We were outdoors. The kicker was the guy was close to the same age as everyone else. I was at a salon with my grandma and there were mirrors all around at different angles. She turned around, looked confused, and just said, "Oh shit, that's me." Turns out she saw herself from the back in one of the mirrors and thought there was an old lady behind her. Years ago, when queuing up for movie tickets with my family, the attendant asked the ages of our 4 kids to see if they could all get children price tickets. I announced their ages, 7, 9, 11, 13. Without missing a beat, the stranger behind us declared, "That's an odd group. They'll even out next year." An old man on the street with a big, jack-o'-lantern grin on his face and 2 chihuahuas under each arm loudly proclaiming to no one in particular, "I used to carry grenades. Now I carry dogs." A significant upgrade, of course. Edit, my first coin. Thanks. They're chihuahuas, they're practically the same thing. Why y'all thought this deserved a silver and this many upvotes? Thanks though. Just the other day, checking out at the Cracker Barrel, the older gentleman ringing my wife up accidentally said, with all confidence, "Have a thank you." I was at a gas station filling my truck with gas and overheard a guy yelling at his dog to move over in the car so his wife could get in. It went like this: "Man to dog, come on, get in the middle so mommy can get in." Dog starts yipping back at him as if she's arguing. Man to dog, quit arguing me, I told you to get in the middle, you don't always get your way. Dog again yipping back at him. Man to dog, if I have to tell you again you're not getting your jerky. Holds up a stick of beef jerky. Dog yipping while reluctantly moving to the middle. Man to dog, okay promise no more arguing me and you'll be a good girl. Dog yipping again. Man to dog, okay seal it with a kiss. Dog gives man kiss. Shit had me dying. Edit, hot damn, this post blew the F up. Thank you random citizens for my first silvers and first gold, you guys are awesome. Also, to clear a few things up, the dog was a Brittany Spaniel, which is a medium-sized dog, and they were in a single cab pickup. Also, it was in Maine, and if it was any of your parents or so's, you guys rock and still make me laugh about it to this day. Glad I could brighten everyone's day. Dog starts yipping back at him as if she's arguing. I am definitely picturing a husky. Everyone thinks huskies are adorable until they spend time with one and realize that it is basically a furry, quadrupedal 3-year-old in a perpetual sugar rush tantrum. Those dogs have the energy of a crackhead, I swear. Crackheads have husky energy. Huskies are dawn till dusk, crackheads only once they're on. Something I overheard as 2 kids walked past our caravan park site, a rumbling boom of distant thunder. Kid 1, I like thunder. It sounds like a 200-year-old dog who's retired and helps old people who are blind to get around. Kid 2, silence. Kid 1, you know? Kid 2, but why is it retired? Kid 1, because it's old. Kid 2, but it's still helping blind people. Kid 1, silence. A few years ago I let my friend cut my hair. It did not go well. I was living in Philadelphia at the time and was walking through South Philly when I passed 2 strangers in the middle of the conversation. As I pass, one of them says to the other, "Hold up, I gotta talk to this guy." He proceeds to shout to me, "Ayo. Your hair looks like shit. Come over here." I was amused, partially because of his bluntness and partially because he wasn't wrong. I was curious, so I walked over to him. He says, "Look, a buddy of mine owns a barber shop 2 blocks away. Here's his business card, I'll write my name on there. If you mention that I sent you, he'll give you a good deal." Bruh, but seriously, take care of that shit. I never ended up going to his friend's shop, but I frequently use this story as the perfect example of Philly culture: rude, blunt in your face, yet somehow coming from a place of genuine care. Plus, it's ducking hilarious. A lot of cultures are like that. Chinese people will straight up tell you're fat, but only if they actually care. They'll be like, "Hey, you're too fat, but you'd be really pretty if you lost some weight. You should go to the gym." In Vegas, the Chinese cashier looked at my id and said you was fat. Good job, the bluntness was unexpected and refreshing. Shit made my day. To this day, I get the most joy from a statement made by a Vietnamese college student who saw my middle school portrait. "Did you get plastic surgery? You were very ugly, but now you are pretty." I was laughing too hard to explain that no, I was just an unfortunate looking 13-year-old and that adulthood had been way more kind to me. Okay, the laughter was not entirely inside, but years ago on the subway in NY, a crazy dude walks on the train and screams at everyone, "You're all going to hell." And then steps off as the doors close. Total silence as the weirdness of the moment settles in. Then, without missing a beat, guy across from me goes, "Shit, I thought this train was going to Harlem." Entire subway car of cynical New Yorkers bursts out laughing. I wish I had the balls to make people crack up like that. Ha ha ha. His timing was completely perfect too. Some people are just natural comedians. I'm in the bathroom at work washing my hands, and one of the professors that I don't think I've ever actually spoken to comes in and starts washing her lanyard in the sink. I try to make small talk with work people even though I suck at it, so I try to strike up a conversation that goes down as follows. "Morning. I spilled coffee on my lanyard and now it's all sticky. Blah, that's the worst." At this point she turns off the faucet and looks at me completely deadpan with eyes that said she wanted to feed me my own innards and said, "I think genocide is worse." So I awkwardly mumbled, "Yeah, bye, have a nice day," and quickly escaped. It's turned into a running joke in my office now though. Anything from the printer being out of toner to a fire drill on a cold day is literally worse than genocide. I had a similar experience with my ex's father. I went to meet her parents for the very first time, and her mom was listing off what we were having for dinner and she said blah, blah, baked macaroni and cheese. To which I replied, "Oh great. I love macaroni and cheese." At which point her father said, "You love macaroni and cheese?" I just sort of stared at him, stunned, and he said, "I love my wife. I love my kids. I don't love macaroni and cheese." And I said, "Well, I love macaroni and cheese." Dude was being a dick, but you stood your ground. Well played. Yes, and that's why macaroni and cheese and I are married to this day. The passion is all but gone, but I don't want old Pat thinking he was right. Staying together for the tortellini usually doesn't help.